right, so I know this time would come, and that time is today. For today's happiest hour, sponsored by Equipaces Markets, we are saying cheers with some low to no alcohol cocktail options. Adam Equipaces of Equipaces Markets is here to discuss this increasing trend. I'm surprised. They must not work for a living, okay? Because you gotta understand, after a long day, happy hour is calling my name.
So the non-alcoholic part of the industry and the business. So think of the name soft drink.
Okay.
Soft drink.
Okay.
That's where that whole thing came from. It's not the hard drink. It's a soft drink. It's non-alcoholic drinks. We've been drinking non-alcoholic drinks for a long time.
That is true.
And so there's a time and a place. And I will say that we make lots of different cocktails, and sometimes they're higher alcohol, sometimes they're lower alcohol.
That is correct.
But the reality is that sometimes we want to be festive, we want to have a drink, but there's all kinds of reasons why we're at like a business lunch.
Right.
We have to drive.
Right.
Some people just can't drink for all kinds of reasons.
It's not even 10 o'clock in the morning yet.
That's right.
Okay.
And so I'll say, like, our experience with non-alcoholic beers, kind of started out with like O'Doul's.
Yes.
All right.
My aunt used to drink O'Doul's all the time, and as a young child, I thought she was drinking like an alcoholic beverage.
That's right.
Did not know it was low to no alcohol.
And I'll tell you that the non-alcoholic option for a drink has really blossomed and become an entire category. Now, it's not just for people who don't drink at all, but people are using non-alcoholic beverages, mixing it with drinking a drink to just be able to extend the day out or the night out without having to dilute the drink. You can have, it's called zebra drinking. So you have one alcoholic product with a non-alcoholic product and kind of rotate back and forth. I know it's hard for you to fathom.
Zebra drinking.
But it's a real thing. It's a real thing. So, but look, this is the thing. The reason that we have completely covered the table, and we could have so many items out there, is that there's a plethora of items to really pick from.
Which is great.
And so for a long time, a lot of non-alcoholic products were, I don't know, it wasn't like the wine just didn't taste good because there's different ways to remove alcohol. So if the most mature categories are probably beer and wine.
Right.
So you go to Europe, there's non-alcoholic beer everywhere.
That's offensive.
I know, but it's a way for people to drink beer and wine without, during the day, and so if you're having lunch, you're not having to take a nap right after.
And what I like is that clearly on this table they have really updated the way everything tastes, right? So if you really like something that gives you flavor, you could have the same flavor without having the alcohol in it.
That's right. So there's lots of different methods of alcohol removal. And so in some cases it may be dilution. So you just lower the proof by adding water or something else to whatever, maybe wine. You're just lowering the proof because you're diluting the product down. You can do that on your own. There's reverse osmosis, there's dilution, there's distillation, there's stripping, there's there's all kinds of devices that will remove alcohol from product.
Well, I want to try it.
Yeah, so
Let's see what we
like
got.
I said, so there's lots of different things. So the first thing I think we're going to do is we're going to start out with let's start with a wine. How about that?
Okay.
All right. So this is Geizen. De-alcoholized Chardonnay from New Zealand. That's right. I will tell you that my experience with non-alcoholic wine is that white wines seem to kind of prevail a little bit because they have great acidity. And I'll tell you, I made some drinks for my wife, and I didn't tell her it was non-alcoholic, and she could not tell the difference.
Wow.
I made a spritz that was kind of like an Aperol spritz.
Okay.
And I used a de-alcoholized Prosecco and used another thing that kind of tastes like Aperol.
Okay, it smells like wine.
It smells just like wine.
Let's see.
Because it is wine. It's just the alcohol is removed. And so sometimes they may have to, play around with different things to, make it taste, but it's got good acidity.
My executive producer tells, she's like, you drink wine all the time on this show. What happened? Can you tell that there's no alcohol in here? Honestly, I can't. It tastes like wine.
It does. And so there's variations, and there's lots of different brands out there, and there's becoming more premium brands. The one thing that's a little bit tricky is some of the liquors to make, and so they're not meant to be really consumed on their own, but they're meant to be consumed like in a cocktail. So that's,
You know, as I drink this more, I can taste it. I can taste that there's no alcohol in here, which is fine.
alcohol has a viscosity that you can't. It's
Come on, physics.
that's very difficult to replicate, and that is one of the things that's hard to do. But and so you can make it up with other things like bitters, hops. You get it? All
I
right.
totally get it. I absolutely love that.
So-
really, really good. And now you're talking about the liquors, right? The tequila, the rums. I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah, yeah.
Ritual all the time on Instagram.
Yeah.
What are you using?
So we're gonna use Bear. So this is like a gin alternative.
Okay.
All right. So what we're gonna make a Bear 75. You cool with that?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
all
like
right.
a Frank 75.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
use a
So
gin
we're
or
gonna
cognac.
so we're gonna use 2 ounces of Bear Zero Proof
Okay.
Classic Gin. We're gonna use a half an ounce of lemon juice.
Yummy. Always fresh.
A half ounce of simple syrup. So all non-alcoholic. And I'll let you do I'll let you have the honors of the shake.
Oh my God, the
And the pour- and the pour,
non-alcoholic.
and the pour.
And you all, again, if we could get a pan of this table,
Yep.
look at all of the different options. Alternative tequila,
Yep.
alternative whiskey. So is it that they're not sacrificing the flavor of these different
You're
beverages?
making, and so the non-alcoholic. If you go to a bar or restaurant now, you will probably see on the menu a mocktail.
Oh, yeah.
And it could be fruits and all sorts of other things, but sometimes the price is doggone more than alcohol in it.
Okay, so there's
That's
not
right.
even no liquor in
That's
there.
right. So, but it's about the flavor and the festivities. And
Wait,
look,
and you're topping this with,
this is a sparkling brut,
which is non-alcoholic.
non-alcoholic, sparkling wine.
You better stop.
I know.
Well, I gotta try this.
Let me give you a little bit of a.
Ooh, a little, okay, see, we're not sacrificing flavor,
right.
which I think is so great and important
There we
to
go.
note about non-alcoholic
That's right.
spirits. Just because it doesn't have that feel-good moment doesn't mean that the flavor is not going to be good.
So give it a try. See what you think.
Let's see. Ooh, I can smell the
I
lemon.
know. I can too.
Cheers to you. Shout out to all my non-alcoholics out there. Let's see what we got.
There's things like phony Negronis, so it's pretty good. You can't tell that doesn't have alcohol
Wow,
in it.
this is good. It's the lemon.
I know.
The real fresh lemon in
It's,
there.
it really is delicious. But this smells. If you smell this by itself, it smells just like gin.
I don't know. I've smelled a couple of bottles of gin, but it's good to know that there are options out
That's
there
right.
for everybody. Look, Adam, thank you so much for
Yep.
being here. I knew this day would come when we talk about non-alcoholic spirits. And what's so great is that there are so many different options, and a lot of those options are at Acquista Pacers. If you want to check out this selection, head over to one of the 3 locations, Covington, Mandeville, and Slidell. For more information, AquistaPace.com. Now, usually I say always drink responsibly, but if it's non-alcoholic, do we need to drink responsibly? Sure. Look, stick with us, everybody. We'll be right back. Cheers.